I'm Mike Brown, author, nerd, and host of the Dark Poutine podcast. Join me and Morgan Knudsen, author, paranormal researcher, and host of the TV shows Paranormal 911 and Haunted Hospitals every other Monday for our podcast, Supernatural Circumstances, as we take you on a journey for the curious about the unseen, the mysterious, and incredible things happening in the world about us. Check out Supernatural Circumstances wherever you listen to podcasts.
Right now, we're going to have a conversation that I'm kind of surprised by. There's a story this week going around that the hospitality industry in the province of Alberta is not seeing what they'd hoped they would see in terms of the holiday season and gatherings and bookings around that. They rely on that. It is so important, and it's not what they were hoping to see this time around, given where we are with the pandemic. So to get some insight on that, we're going to chat with Ernie Sue, who is owner of Trolley 5 Community Brew Pub and the president of the Alberta Hospitality Association. Ernie, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks so much for having me, and good morning to you.
Why don't we talk first of all about how important the holiday season is to the hospitality industry? I was surprised by some of the numbers. Like it makes up for a good chunk of the year's business, doesn't it?
Oh, yes. For a lot of restaurants out there that have, private spaces or bookings rooms or, just beautiful spaces in general.
Yeah.
The Christmas season is one of the most important seasons for every restaurant out there.
Now, we know last year was a disaster. It was absolutely horrible, of course. I was expecting it to be quite a bit better this year, but it's not working out that way, is it?
Well, I think the beginning of the REP program and the communication there and the confusion, and you're already talking about some of the issues coming out of caucus there this morning, but the miscommunication of the REP program to the public is what has started to throw everything off. We had mass cancellations for Christmas across the province, but now that there's been more clarification on the double vaccination requirements, and that REP is a mandate by this government. Plain out and simple. We're starting to see some bookings come back.
Okay, so it's happening slowly and surely. I mean, that whole confusion and the whole discussion around the restriction exemption program, I know that was an issue for a while. Has that calmed down now? Have people got a handle on where we are with all that, or there's still some confusion?
Well, we've been working with Alberta government to try to get better communication out there for the public. It has gotten a lot better. I mean, let's look at it right now in the plain writing. If a restaurant chooses not to be a part of the program, they operate their patio.
Okay.
With table distancing. So there's no restaurant can operate a patio right now. So
exactly.
It's either do that or close, right? So it is a mandate, after all said and done, by the government.
Of course, yeah. I've gone out to a few places, and it seems like everybody has a system in place, and it's working quite smoothly. So I guess that's the message that we need to try and get out, right? I mean, if you want to have a holiday gathering in a space that, typically would host these sorts of things, you can, with ultimately no restrictions as to size or anything like that. As long as everybody's vaccinated, it's just like it was back in 2018, right? Yeah,
it is. There's no restrictions in terms of capacity. And restaurants have worked so hard to provide the safest spaces possible for the public while following all of the requirements and restrictions laid out by the government.
Not too late. If people are thinking, they weren't 100% sure, there's still time to get in, and it sounds like there's probably still space available, right?
Oh, there's some unbelievably beautiful spaces available across the province at your local restaurants, and I would encourage every small company or friends and family to reach out and let restaurants know what your budget might be, and hopefully they can work with that.
Excellent. All right, Ernie. Well, hopefully you have a good holiday season and things start to pick up here. Appreciate your time this morning. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
You bet. That's Ernie Sue, who is president of the Alberta Hospitality Association and owner of Trolley 5 Community Brew Pub.